like we make it. Maybe not. The weather's going to make you a deal you can't refuse.
Maybe not.
Man.
It's coming back. We're getting there.
Yeah, but that hit like a weird high note that it hung on to the entire weather forecast. It's going to be about 40. It's like Zach O'Corleone on helium.
Yeah.
That was fun. That made me laugh, Zach. See, again, I don't want your voice to go back to normal. My guess is you definitely want it back before, high school hockey takes over a good chunk of your life.
Yeah, I was thinking about that this morning. I really don't have like a good outlet to call it anymore now that the horn's done.
It's over.
So,
Yeah.
I guess if we want to put the message out there, if you want to pay me, I don't know, I'll come out and call your game.
Yeah. But you'll have your voice back to normal.
Yes.
Okay, good. That'd be great. All right.
On the road again.
Fan 5. Everybody ready?
It sounds like we have an isolated mic on him.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, sounds like he's just at home.
Yeah.
He will do anything.
Zach, Tommy.
Anything.
On the road again. Women.
Whoa.
Talk about it, Pat.
Because for you, it was cray-cray.
Hey, Pat Kessler, what makes Tommy sick to his stomach?
Women. He's all man.
Brilliant, Hawk.
The dude is really handsome. He's all man.
He's a good-looking dude.
Has no shame.
That is clear.
Yeah.
He will do anything.
Abundantly clear.
Yeah, the whole town knows.
For free.
On the road again.
All right.
That's so good.
I know.
It's time for
wonder
Fan
if he knows we're
5,
doing that.
brought to you by Builders and Remodelers.
Thank you, builders and remodelers.
Thank you.
Remember a couple of weeks ago, we heard that head coach of the San Antonio Spurs, Greg Popovich, had a medical incident, and that's why he was going to step away from the team indefinitely. They announced it was a mild stroke.
Oh, boy.
Expected to make a full recovery, although the timeline not determined yet for Pop. But he is 75 years old. That is the oldest coach in NBA history. I didn't know that. I knew he was the winningest coach in NBA history. Did not know that technically he is the oldest at 75. But mild stroke, luckily expected to make a full recovery.
He's all man.
No, he's all man.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I would expect that. That's pretty old, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
For an NBA coach, for anything. But
Sure.
That's a stressful job.
Yeah. That's old just for society,
especially
right?
if you're the T-Wolves coach.
Ooh.
I mean, how do you fit in when you're 75? Just calling your son, looking for the twin scuttlebutt and whatnot.
Scuttlebutt.
Aaron Rodgers was asked about playing next year and on the prospects of playing in 2025. He said, I think so, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
For who?
So
Yeah, I was going to say for who?
he thinks he's playing next year as well. Don't forget, last year he did sign a 3-year, $112.5 million deal with the Jets.
Yeah.
So he still is under contract.
So he does have one more year with the Jets.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, there ain't much I wouldn't do for that much a year.
Right. Ben, the Jets are 3-7. And how about this for a stat, if this is accurate? I didn't fact check this, but I saw this on Twitter. Now, 33 straight starts for Rodgers. So that goes all the way back to Green Bay. 33 straight starts without throwing for 300 plus.
Damn.
That's almost 2 full seasons without having a 300-yard game.
And
That's crazy.
And they
That's
tailored that roster to him.
Yep.
He got to handpick that offensive roster. Handpick. And that's odd.
Yeah, and he chose just his buddies versus what was best for the team.
Has no shame.
That's right, Pat.
I think we brought this up before you got here, but what was your reaction when you heard Deion Sanders that he will privately stop some teams from drafting Shadur Sanders if it's the, quote, wrong team?
He was melting down on social media last night.
Well, Pat, you are right.
It doesn't surprise me, and it's not the first time it's ever happened. I mean, in my personal experience, it happened to me when I was in San Diego with the whole Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers thing. So
worked out for both teams.
It worked out for both, and at the time, it was just like, what's Daddy Manning doing, like stepping all over this and getting involved and all this other stuff, and it seemed like an overprotection of someone's child in a very public way, and they caught some flack for it, and it could not have worked out. And then, we've been talking about it differently, but it's worked out for both teams. I think both franchises were pretty happy with the guys that they got. So, I don't know, man.
Who was the better quarterback? Obviously, Eli won a couple of Super Bowls, but who was the better quarterback between Rivers and Manning?
Yeah, 100%.
I think Phillip was
way better stats.
Way better stats. I think, and the thing is, like, personalities aside, I mean, Eli's a great leader and he leads in a different way. He's like a little bit more quiet, but internally, guys loved him. Like, the public did not necessarily see the Eli Manning that the Giants saw. And, conversely, Philip was the opposite. Like, what you see in the media and what he puts out there is like exactly how he was in the locker room. He's super gregarious, highly energetic, always running his mouth, always has a smile on his face.
Always having kids.
Always having kids.
Like every 6 seconds.
Yeah. You're welcome.
So I don't know. I guess it's just like right place at the right time and for the right organization. Like the Giants probably wanted a quieter leader that Eli was. I don't know what they would have felt like if they had Philip Rivers just, running his mouth and gambling and playing Boo Ray in the locker room with all the brothers all the time.
Do you think in the right situation you could maybe talk him into coming back to play?
Philip?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
No. I think he's
64 years old.
He's my age. He's 42.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
Speaking of coming out of retirement, 6 years after she, quote, retired, Lindsey Vonn coming out of retirement and going to ski again at age 40.
Yeah.
And the Olympics, of course, still a couple of years away, Feb of 2026 in Italy. But I guess that is the goal. She's coming out of retirement 6 years after announcing she was done.
God, I got to think that is really a young person's sport. Like, the training they have to go to get their body ready for that downhill skiing is insane. So hopefully she can pull it off. But man, at 40 years old, your body just does not recover the way it used to.
All right, so her last competition was Feb of 2019, so 5 years ago. But her last Olympics were 6 years ago. So has not competed since February of 2019.
Man, I hope her knees can handle it, man.
She's had broken arms, legs, torn knee ligaments, concussions, and more.
Tommy should get into skiing.
I don't think his knees could handle it.
Ben, your prediction for tomorrow night when 58-year-old Mike Tyson takes on 27-year-old Jake Paul.
Yep.
I just saw it this morning. Maybe it's been going for a couple of weeks, but it made me laugh. Somebody said, we already saw this fight 30 years ago, and they have a picture of Glass Joe and Mike Tyson from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Wow. And then they have the photos of Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. You're like, he does kind of look like Glass Joe a little bit. So they're like, we've already seen this fight. Your prediction, who are you cheering for, and who do you think will win tomorrow? Netflix, Tyson versus Jake Paul.
I'm cheering for Tyson. My fandom, and I have no professional prediction because we don't know what Mike Tyson looks like at this point in time, and I think Paul has decent boxing skills. I mean, he's shown that, but never really. I mean, he doesn't box anybody that's like in their prime or anything. I think it's a body shot by Mike Tyson that takes him out. I think once he gets inside and he just hammers away at that body. Yeah.
Can I ask a hypothetical question? Mike Tyson in his prime, could Paul last a round?
No. Almost no one on the planet could.
I was going to say, even like the top contenders couldn't last.
Heavyweight champions were scared out of their minds to even get in the ring with him.
Oh, yeah. The black trunks and just that menacing look, man.
No, Jake Paul, in his prime, Mike Tyson, he wouldn't have been able to last around with Mike Tyson. But, 58-year-old Mike Tyson, and this kid has been, whether he's good or not, he's been training with the best trainers money can buy for the last, he's been boxing for like 5 or 6, 7 years now.
Will you watch it?
Unfortunately, yeah, I will. And unfortunately, it's probably going to be one of the most viewed boxing matches of the last 20 years, which is a sad state for the sport. But it's hard for me to believe that a 58-year-old, even though he's Mike Tyson, he's 58, man. Like, I just hope nobody gets hurt. I hope somehow this fight doesn't happen before tomorrow. Somehow something happens that it doesn't happen, because it's a lose-lose for Mike Tyson. If you win, okay, you're Mike Tyson. You knocked out Jake Paul. So what? If you lose, you got knocked out by Jake Paul more than
the power of the purse.
Let's talk about it, Pat.
I know.
Ben, Thursday Night Football, the Washington Commanders at Philadelphia Eagles at 7:15. DraftKings has the Eagles as 3.5-point favorites. Washington is 7-3. Philly is 7-2. Somebody on ESPN this morning said this is the first time in something like 30-ish years that these two teams had squared off when they're both 4 games over 500.
It doesn't matter.
It's been that long,
Pat.
since this
It does
rivalry has
matter.
had this big of a matchup.
I don't know why Pat, he wants to like diminish everything. Why do you want to minimize everything? I would go Eagles on this one. I think yes, I know. I think the Eagles are a very balanced football team, obviously, with Saquon. And I think they're just going to be too much for this defense. And, I think when Jaden has to press, he's just not, I just don't have as much faith in him when he has to, he's forced to make plays down the stretch. And I think that's what's going to end up doing it. I think he's going to have a critical error late in the game, and I think the Eagles are going to win.
He will do anything.
Vikes at Titans Sunday at noon right here on the Fan. You'll be a part of the broadcast, of course, as you always are. The Vikings are 7-2. The Titans are 2-7. Limited in practice: Darnold, Jones, Oliver, Cam Robinson, and Andrew Van Ginkel.
You just made that up, didn't you?
Nope. Read it right off the report. So Darnold's got a hand injury, Jones ribs, Oliver wrist and hand,
boom,
Cam Robinson foot,
boom,
and Gink has a hip problem.
Boom.
I feel like a lot of those will just be they're going to nurse those during the week, and they'll be full participants on Sunday. That's just my guess, based on how everybody sort of finished the game last week. This will be an interesting matchup for our offense. Once again, this is a defense, number 1 ranked pass defense in the league, and I think they are the number 1 ranked defense overall.
Know it all.
Yes, they are the number 1 ranked defense overall in the league.
I had no idea.
Yeah. They play a style of football defensively that we saw our offense struggle against last week. And we've seen Darnold struggle the last several weeks. They play a lot of zone defense. Their cornerbacks and their secondary are really, really good at what they do. They're not super flashy or fancy. We're going to have to sort of right some wrongs and figure out some answers on how to get Sam Darnold to anticipate where our receivers are going to be, and maybe more importantly, where these zone defenders are going to end up. Because
he's pretty good.
He is pretty good. Sam is pretty good. When he's facing a blitz and he knows it's man-to-man, he's really good. But lately, when you get these 2 high safety looks, and you play a certain sort of aggressive zone defense where you can roll up the corners on the receivers, it's been tough. So I think we're going to have to run our way to success against this game.
That's a lie.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we haven't played the game yet, but it's
run
possible.
on the field.
No,
it's not. Pat, it's not an intentional lie. I'm just like projecting what could happen.
I think that's very, very weird.
I don't know if you know this, Ben, but I watch a little show called Twin Cities Live.
Oh, I'm a knucklehead.
Right?
That's what I feel like.
Elizabeth is on that show too, right?
The dude is really handsome.
Yeah, that's Ben.
Wow.
That's Ben.
He's all man.
He's all man. And then Elizabeth's the opposite. You're doing the Twin Cities Live in your town bit or whatever, right?
In Hugo.
Yeah.
Yes.
The road
Next
again.
Friday.
That's correct.
You were at the Blue Heron.
Yes, we are at the. But you really do watch the show.
I do, but Blue Heron, 15 years ago yesterday, my first ever date with my wife, Blue Heron, Hugo.
Is that right?
15 years ago yesterday.
Mark the
He
occasion.
crushed her.
Yep.
On the first date?
I was the degenerate playing cards at Aces, and she got off work early, and we're like, let's go. So Blue Heron. So yeah, I'm sure they know that story. That's next Friday.
You want to come out next Friday and just reenact that?
No.
Boom.
I didn't know you had a game like that.
Yeah,
No.
wow. Wait, when are you going to be there?
A week from tomorrow. Why, are you going to go?
It's 5 minutes from my house.
Yeah, you should go.
Sayonara.
Go do some cooking.
We smoke every Sunday night. Sunday nights at the Heron.
What did we call you
Me
again?
and Chad and Cole. And
What was the bid on? What was the cooking bid?
Chef.
Well, it was. It was
cake?
wait for the sizzle was the
But
quote.
didn't we have a fake name for you?
Something Pepe.
Yeah, it was a fake. It was a fake name. What was his fake name?
That's his rap name.
I forgot what it was.
Little cakes.
Yeah, Little Cakes.
You were little cakes.
Little Cakes.
How do you have that sound?
Go to the Heron next Friday, Zacho.
I might actually do that.
Yeah, go say hi to
Should stop
Elizabeth.
by.
What time are you going to be there?
3 to 4:30.
The time the show is. Don't you watch Twin Cities Live?
I don't know if you're going to do a half-hour spot and go back. I don't know. Yeah, they're going to do a half hour at the Blue Heron and then go all the way back to the studio.
The whole show's going to be there?
Yes.
Not the whole show. Well, no, like as far as us, we're going to be broadcasting the whole show, but not
Kristen
every
and Kelly probably
the
man.
KHs will be back in the studio.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
is that
show
what you
up.
call them, the KHs? I like that.
Yeah.
But they both have the same initials.
Exactly,
I get it.
yes.
Right on.
I'll be there.
Awesome. We'll find
Now it's going to be packed.
Yeah, look out.
I'll talk to Mike Marcotte.
Chef
We'll find
LePepe will be there.
a role for you.
Can you update this photo? Because it looks like just you and Elizabeth are going to be there. Can you get Zach's photo in this Twin Cities Live promotional photo that all three of you will be appearing next Friday?
We could probably clip art you in there.
Yeah.
That was
Photoshop it.
cringeworthy.
We'll do headlines with the Power Trip Morning Show returns after this on The Fan.
Flop, Sweat, and Tears rolls on to Rockwood's Comedy Club this Friday night for 2 shows. Don't miss out on a night of hilarious comedy with the Common Man and Meat Sauce. Tickets start at $26, and you can get yours at rockwoodsmn.com. But caller number 11 right now will win your way into the After Dark show with a pair of tickets. Call now.
That's not far from my new place there, Saucy
Yeah,
Sausage.
it'll be fun, man.
I might
It's a
swing
great
on
spot.
out and just mock you and ridicule you.
That would be great. I would appreciate it.
I would love it.
Yeah, thank you.
I like comedy.
Yeah, it'll be a fun
I'll
show.
come see your show anyway.
Thank you, buddy. Ow, I get it. I didn't laugh like that. I thought that was kind.
That was fine. Headlines brought to you by our friends at Wolf River Electric. Go solar. Get those solar panels put on with Wolf River Electric. Or if you're like, hey, maybe I'll just do that in the spring or something. Sure, whatever. But start reach out to them now. Get that process started. Wolf River Electric. They're awesome.
Women.
Wow. Yeah, women, go get some solar panels. I mean, men too.
I love the Pat Kessler button bars now. They're my
It's
favorite.
so good.
Yeah, they're my favorite.
He's great.
I wonder if he knows we're doing this.
Well, his gal,
Yeah.
Mim, definitely does. She listens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All he does is win.
Whoa.
By the way, speaking of that, Chris Hardwick's on our show tomorrow, and he's playing Initials, right? Mm-hmm. Do you guys know? I mean, Chris is very smart. He was on Celebrity Jeopardy. The dude's smart.
He's all man.
I've seen multiple people flat out say if he understands the rules, because maybe he's never heard the game, who knows? I'm seeing a lot of people thinking Hardwick's going to flat out win tomorrow.
He
Not
will
just
do
compete, but
anything.
win because he's smart.
All he does is win.
But we'll see. But it's a tough game if you're not used to the
I think-
vibe and the flow.
I bet you he gets 3, but he does not win.
3 would be solid.
3
That
would
would be
real
cool.
good.
We'll see. That's tomorrow. He's, I think, between 7:30 and 7:45.
Yeah,
He's going to
that'll be
roll in
fun.
tomorrow. We'll have a chance to talk about
I
Singled
think we're
Out,
going to be best friends.
Singled Out, Talking Dead, The
Does he
Wall.
have any idea what he's doing here?
I don't know.
Prepared at all?
I don't know if his PR team has told him how the game works. I believe he just knows he's playing a game. I don't know.
Okay. Speaking of celebrities, did you guys see the latest Metellus or whatever Metellus
Yeah.
tell us?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
was
the latest
great.
one
The
now.
most famous person in everybody's phone, is that big?
Elon Musk and Jordan Addison? What?
Addison's got
Yeah.
Elon Musk's number,
and
according to him.
FaceTimed with him like 3 days ago.
I guess.
Yeah.
What is happening?
That was
I don't know.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
No kidding?
Yeah.
Some of those ones, I was like, how the hell did this person get that person's number? It was really fast.
A couple of them have LeBron in their phone.
Yeah.
Who's the most famous in yours? Ben Leber.
Probably Josh Duhamel and Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dumel's definitely.
Who's in yours, Hawk?
That's Dumel's definitely number
Yeah.
one of mine. Yeah.
Who do I
Yeah.
have? I have Tackle Terry Tuma.
Oh, wow.
That's
wow.
that's
Never
the
mind.
number
The
one.
game's over.
The Jack Link Sasquatch.
I got former Vikings long snapper Kevin McDermott. So, I mean,
yeah.
I like that
That's
guy.
a, yeah,
he's the
he's
best.
a good one.
I freaking love that dude.
You know what I was excited about was when
yeah, I
Nick
do.
Mullins said that he has Josh Pate in there, who's the co-creator of Outer Banks.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause we're such a big Outer Banks family. Like, I love it.
And he said he's a big Vikings
He's a
fan,
big
right?
Vikings fan,
That's what I
too.
heard on that little
You
bit.
got to get him on the initials.
Yeah, why not?
I'm going to try to get him on Twin
We got to
Cities
get
Live.
Metellus back on because last time
He's
we just
great.
ripped him for his purse basically the whole time.
Yeah.
That's a
He's
good dude,
great.
man.
Yeah,
I like
super
that guy.
good dude. We got a good group, man. The Vikings got a good group of dudes right now.
Yeah.
Good dudes.
Very likable players.
All
which,
likable.
In the history of the Power Trip Morning Show, like that 09 team, ick.
Oh, yeah, they were. Yeah.
Well, they wrecked everything.
They sure
Zach,
did.
And if you could think of anybody, who would you like to have off the current team to come in?
Well, somebody who's not like I don't want them to get distracted. You know, I don't want any like active players right now.
Yeah, that's kind of you, man.
Right. So somebody
somebody maybe who's like on the outside looking in,
and probably younger too, like you could relate to.
Somebody that's rehabbing an injury.
So like maybe like the what's that? You help me out here. The
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, that's
you want JJ McCarthy to come in and play
that's
initials.
the background on your phone?
Not right now. It's Vegas right now, but it can be.
Hey, BN. Yeah. Not to change the subject completely immediately, but I sent you the picture of old Nick Cage.
Yeah.
You watched the film.
Yeah, Long Legs.
Long Legs. What did you think?
It definitely was. It definitely had me on the edge of my seat for a little bit. It was scarier than I thought it was going to be, especially sitting on a plane. If I was at home or in the theaters, I would have been much more terrified at certain times.
Sure.
Did not love the way it ended at all. I did not think that I did not think it was going to turn into that. I'm trying to like not spoil it for anybody because I urge everybody to actually watch it because it's kind of a good movie.
It's different than what you think it's going to be. 100%.
Yeah.
I did not think it was going to lean all the way into what it did.
Yeah, and I told Cory that the other day, and I think he'll never watch it now.
I probably wouldn't have before, but you know, there are a lot of ways to end a lot of movies, but based on what Chris told me, that movie took the laziest possible way out. And I don't know, that just bothers me that you can't think of something more creative than that.
The best part of the film is early when Nick Cage is talking to the little girl in her backyard.
Oh, man.
And he bends down and you see his face for the first time, and they snap away. It's like you think maybe that'll be all you ever see of him. But then they show him a lot later in the show. Mm-hmm. But that moment when you see his face for a split second, it's scary.
Yeah, it's scary.
It is. It's doing the little dance and everything. Yeah. He's very creepy in the movie.
It's like I brought my long legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The scene where he goes into that like little hardware store and then his interrogation. I mean, basically every scene where he's actually in it, you know, speaking he's so creepy and so good. But I left that movie with a lot more questions than I had answers.
Yep.
Does it take like the Jaws angle? Does he just randomly show up?
That's what I was hoping, but no.
No, not really. No. It's a lot more. It was kind of billed as the scariest movie of all time, but it's way more of a supernatural detective movie than like a horror movie.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a very succinct way to put it.
That's why I was disappointed, to be honest with you.
Exactly, and that's exactly why I didn't like the ending.
I liked the movie, but I just thought that was such a weird way to advertise it as the scariest movie of all time because it wasn't even close to being the scariest movie. It was very, very creepy and disconcerting, but scariest movie of all time was weird. So they just had people's expectations up way high, and I feel like a lot of people left the same way that you guys left.
Okay, well, it's good that I didn't know that because because Hawk, you told me that it was fun and you guys were talking about on the trip. So I'm like, okay, I'll watch it as well. I didn't know that it was being billed as the scariest movie of all time. Oh, yeah.
Leading up to it, they were like, people are leaving the theaters. Yeah. People can't even stay and watch the whole movie. And it literally, like, the reviews and the commercials were saying it's the scariest movie of all time. So I went into it having a totally different idea of what it was going to be. But I liked the detective angle. The ending was a little odd.
Yeah, the detective angle was great. And it was very suspenseful at parts. But, again, the ending and, like...
Gotta land the plane.
Yeah, right.
Correct.
And Mika Monroe is her name. She's Lee Harker, the main actress. Fantastic.
She's great.
And I had to look it up because I was the only one that felt this way. I honestly thought she was playing both roles, her and her mom. Her mom is Alicia Witt. That is a good-looking lady in real life, by the way.
Without all the makeup on?
Yeah. That is a good-looking lady when she's not doing what she was doing.
Is that right?
I thought they were the same person. They were not.
Yeah, I didn't get those vibes because you brought that up on the plane. I'm like, I didn't think so, but maybe they are. I don't know, but I did not get that feeling.
Anyway, there you go, long legs.
All right. Do you remember about a week or so ago we learned that this country's not super informed when it comes to politics and elections, right? People that are engaged are locked in, but the rest of the country probably is not as aware as we thought. For example, the spike in did Joe Biden drop out the day of the election? There was like a gigantic surge. Well, now there's another story saying Google searches the day of the election for how to change my vote reportedly spiked.
Come on.
So take the party out of it for a second, regardless of what party it was, or I don't know if it leaned one way or the other. That's irrelevant. Just the fact that you mailed in your vote or voted early And then in that week or two, it was like, how do I change my vote? You don't get to. If you voted, you voted. But apparently there was a Google search spike the day of the election. How do I change my vote?
Well, that's so fascinating because all these so-called experts, and if you want to put those pollsters in the so-called expert category, they all say that about 2 months to 3 months out of the election, most people have their mind made up. There's really not, unless one candidate literally trips and falls over themselves and does something so bizarre that you're like, ooh.
Bizarre.
Right.
If you just kind of play it straight and do what you've been doing leading up to that, most people they've already decided who they're going to vote for. So how many people, obviously a lot, according to Google, the day of had a change of heart?
Maybe. And again, who knows which way they wanted to change it. Just the fact that to me, it's just more of, I can't believe they thought that was even an option. It's, you have voted. You don't get to change it.
No.
I don't care what your reason is. You voted.
It's one of my most
insane,
controversial opinions that everybody hates. I get it, but it's why I'm not a big, like, everybody just vote guy. If you're educated, if you looked into it, if you know that Joe Biden's not on the ticket anymore, then go vote. But, like, don't just say everybody vote for the sake of voting, because you're not. I mean, there's
a lot of uneducated voters out there.
A good chunk, yeah.
And I don't care what you do politically or whatever. It's just
Politically,
we get it.
Maybe I can speak better.
Nailed it. Speaking of politics, go ahead, Chris.
I'm sorry, I got to get this up before we go too far away from it. I just talked to you guys about how hot I thought the mom was. Apparently, she's a singer, and she's playing the Grand Ole Opry like in a couple of days. On December 23rd, Monday, December 23rd, she's playing the Dakota here in Minneapolis. Her name is Alicia Witt, and she's a singer. And December 23rd, it's Spending Christmas with Alicia Witt.
Wow.
At the Dakota.
Which is a fantastic place.
Love that place.
I've still never been there.
Oh, it's excellent. Well, she was in one of your favorite movies, Hawk, Christmas Tree Lane.
Yeah, no, great film.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it was her.
All right, Ben, I know you got to go.
Oh, yeah.
So I want you to guess before you leave. Again, I'm not trying to troll. Take the politics out of it, because the joke isn't where you think it's going.
Okay.
Obviously, Donald Trump is starting to put his cabinet together, right?
Sure.
Picking a lot of people for a lot of positions, and we can argue that some other time. Somebody, though, is saying, hey, whoa, and somebody has put their hand up and has asked Donald Trump, maybe not directly, but has thrown it out there in the ether. There's somebody that wants to be head of the Fish and Wildlife Service. This person's like, hey, Donald, what about me?
Captain Billy Hill.
They want to be the head
Terry too much.
of the Fish and Wildlife Service. If you saw it, don't guess. Who is requesting to be the head of the Fish and Wildlife Service for the Trump administration?
Jack Hanna.
That would make sense, right?
Or one of the Duck Dynasty guys.
Now you're getting closer. You're going the right way.
Tiger King.
Nailed it!
Yeah.
Joe Exotic wants to be the head of the Fish and Wildlife Service.
From prison?
From prison. He's in prison.
Listen.
He's in prison.
Hey, shoot your shot.
That's right.
I guess it doesn't hurt to ask. I hope he used manners, right? Manners go a long way.
He's got time to do the job.
Good point. That's a great point. He could just sit around and work on the fish and the
I'm
wildlife.
sitting here thinking about fish.
I didn't know he was into fish.
Everybody works remotely, right?
That's right.
All he needs is a laptop and
He
Wi-Fi.
can't visit every national park anyway.
He's got to be thinking, pardon, right? I mean,
I wonder.
Because that was the big push at the end of the term.
Good point, because that was
Trump.
2020.
And
Yeah.
now he's got a second chance.
Good point. Let him out of prison and appoint him the head of Fish and Wildlife.
No, my vote's for Ron Shera.
I love Ron.
Yeah, Ron
I
Wales.
vote for
Shera.
Washington, D.C. bound.
Yeah.
Ron Shera.
I see what you did there. Would he bring Raven?
Of course.
He's the best guy ever, by the way.
Yeah, he is.
Ron
Oh,
Shera.
dude,
Yeah, I was on.
Such a
Did you know the
great guy.
Dillos were on his show? They did a whole. Yeah, I got to go fishing with him.
Is that
It was a
right?
great honor.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
On
really
Mille Lacs,
And,
right?
and his daughter,
Yeah.
Laura, is fantastic.
Oh, yeah,
as well.
she's great,
She's the
too.
sweetest.
Great theme. That music is awesome.
Oh,
It's a
the
banger.
Minnesota
Do you have
Bound
it, the
bit?
System Hawk?
Yeah, I sure do. Let's go fishing, bitch.
Love you, bitches. Bye-bye. Bye. Hawk, I'll see you on Saturday
I
on
can't
the plane.
wait, buddy. Let's go to Nashville.
Here's the deal, though. I don't even know what to watch now. I feel like I've watched everything I've wanted to watch on the Delta plane.
It is time, Ben. The entire staff of Twin Cities Live has also requested this. It is time for you to start The Office.
You're
It
right.
is time.
You know what?
It is time.
You're right.
It is time.
And again, I would argue you can start with the Dundies, which is the first episode of season 2. but the first season's only 6 episodes. So even though it's a good table setter, I would just start at episode 1.
And you're going to get through something that I can watch on my laptop. Like I have to literally
100%.
I have to download all of it, like legit download, because I can't stream it on the plane.
Probably on Peacock.
Yeah, it's on Peacock.
But I can't watch that on the plane, can I?
If you download it on Peacock,
Yeah, if it's downloaded, you can,
Yeah, man.
Yep, just download it. It's time, man. Come on. Catch up with the rest of society.
It's an office weekend.
All right, Ben Leber,
Bye,
3 to
buddy boy.
4:30, Twin Cities Live,
There he goes.
5 days a week.
Looking good, feeling good.
Christopher, HBO
Yes, sir.
has made a documentary about yacht rock, and it airs later this month.
I looked at the trailer. It looks really, really good. I think it's fascinating because I think it's. I hope that part of the documentary, Corey, is about what is yacht rock and what is not.
Yeah.
Because I've had
How
that
do you define
argument
it?
with a lot of people. Yeah,
What are some bands that are on the fringe that fall into both buckets,
Doobie
in and
Brothers.
out?
Are the Doobie
Good
Brothers
one,
yacht rock? Because Michael McDonald is.
Yeah.
Are the Doobie Brothers?
See, that's I'm not a Doobie Brothers expert by any means, but my gut says they are absolutely not. Right, but Michael McDonald absolutely is.
Right,
He's one of the defining people in yacht rock. But I don't think that the Doobie Brothers are.
Have you played with them, Hawk?
I have not. No, I've not been.
They're sweet.
Is that how you lean as well? That they are not?
I would say you're exactly right. They are not. He definitely is.
Definitely
is.
Yes,
Yeah, he definitely
exactly.
is,
Same thing. Let's talk about Chicago and Peter Cetera. Chicago's definitely not yacht rock. But their later
Cetera
stuff might be.
Yeah.
Who is Christopher Cross like yacht rock
Yes, he's the king.
10.0?
He's the king.
He's the king?
He's the king. And that sumbitch can play some guitar.
And
by the
Seals
way.
and Crofts. Yeah, that's yacht
Oh,
rock.
Seals.
And now Seal obviously went on to have a much
Yeah, he
different
did,
career.
yeah.
He sang
Yeah.
Crazy and Kiss from a
Whatever
Rose.
happened to
He
Crofts?
is not yacht rock.
Yeah.
You know who's underrated?
Crofts.
That's right.
What's the band, Hawk, that sings the song I'd Really Like to See You Tonight?
Pantera.
No, not Pantera. We used to play it all the time.
Oh, Butthole Surfers?
No, it's the cover of the album
I'm
looks
not
like...
talking about moving in.
Yeah.
I don't want to change your
The
life.
cover of the album looks like Mike Holmgren and Drew Brees.
What?
Yeah, hold on, hold on.
That's what,
Yes.
that's what
You gotta
they
look it up.
actually look like?
What is the band name,
I'm
Hawk?
sorry, I'm thinking, dude. I'm thinking.
What is the name of the song?
To see you tonight. I'm not talking about moving in. Really?
We're all seeing who can type the fastest.
England Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
England Dan and John Ford Coley.
And it definitely looks
Yes.
like those two.
Yeah, it
Looks like
Especially
Holmgren.
Wow, it really
Holmgren.
does.
Yeah,
that does
yeah.
look like Mike Holmgren's cousin.
One of them's
does.
dead.
Wow.
I think they're both dead now. No, maybe you're right. Maybe they're.
Hawk, look at this.
That song, Whales.
I found a gigantic Google Doc of someone classifying what is yacht rock and what is not.
I don't think Toto is yacht rock.
But this person has
this
it
guy does.
definitively as
Yeah,
yacht
right.
rock.
That's sweet.
So that's. But anyway, back to your original point.
I didn't know it was
I
such
will
a
definitely
debate.
watch. I watch about any documentary that has to do with music.
Yeah.
But I love that, man. There's a great documentary. You know what? It's I think it's called All in the Family or something like that, and it's about another set of musicians out in L.A. who played all the background music on a million songs you've heard, like Running on Empty and stuff like that. That I couldn't encourage you more to watch if you're into music at all. But let me look it up while you're doing your next.
Well, check this out. Connection. Unless somebody just said this when we were all talking over each other. Check this out, though. So, England Dan and John Ford Coley of the song you just referred to, Sauce. Mm-hmm. England Dan, not his real name. That's a nickname. His real name is Waylon Seals. He is the younger brother of Jim Seals from Seals and Croft.
Wow.
Whoa!
So they are related. So no wonder they're both in the yacht rock category.
I had no idea. That's
They're
really
related.
cool.
Didn't know that. Quincy Jones died of pancreatic cancer. Man, that's isn't that one of the worst ones?
The worst.
That one's like, it's
I think-
over. But he was 90.
Yeah, 90 something. But still, I mean, that's not the way you want to go,
It's
even if
definitely
it's
not
at the end.
Yeah, my point is, that normally get you sooner than that, I guess, is my point. But,
Fair.
yeah, wow. Oof.
That sucks.
That's terrible.
All right, let's see if you guys can guess this. The average American man
300 pounds.
has blank total friends, blank close friends, and blank best friends. Let's start with just total. The average American man claims they have how many friends, total friends?
22.
10.
20.
Man, I feel like it's going to be lower than we think, and that makes me sad. I'm going to say 7.
Maxo almost nailed it. It's 8. 8 friends. How many of those do they consider close, and how many would they consider, quote, best?
I'd say 1 for best, 3 for close.
4 for close, 2 for best.
Yeah, I would say the same thing as
I'll
Max. So.
concur with Hawk.
You guys are dancing all over it. It's 3 close friends, 2 best friends. That's the average American.
Who's
now
your
again,
best
when you I have like 16 best friends.
Say your wife. Say it. Come on, man. Be smart.
No one is falling for that.
Who's your best friend, Hogs?
You.
Oh.
No, probably Sarah Jane.
Yeah.
What about you, Sauce?
It's tough because
It used to be people that were not
Pat.
famous.
Yeah. I mean, Sean, Luke, Randy.
So you have 4
Hogs.
best friends, 5.
I have multiple best friends, and I know that's weird, but yeah, people who, if I was in a pinch, I would call that so that would help me out. I mean,
Tree?
behind
Is
the
it Treeser?
scenes,
Luke.
that guy would help me out if I needed it.
Guardsy.
Hawk would. You'd probably be with me, so we
Scene
need to
Bear.
find some. Yeah, Scene Bear.
Ski Club Pat.
Yeah.
Luke.
Yeah. I love Lucas.
The movie?
Barrero.
Dove.
Yeah.
Immediate Family. That's the name of it. Sorry.
Garlar.
Yeah, Garlar's all right.
My grandpa.
My grandpa.
A guy who used to come into the cigar shop I worked at.
Oh,
Brilliant.
Bernard.
Yeah, Bernard, yeah.
Denny Tedesco.
Denny Tedesco.
Huey
We
Lewis.
should play some Christmas music.
We can't meet Sauce Robot.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, I did some, by the way, did some research on that. There are way more of those we can play than I thought.
Because they're
Public domain?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
We might have to play year-round public domain Christmas
That's what I'm
songs.
saying.
Well, I
There's
think-
none but it.
Does it start tomorrow on Cool 108?
Starts today on our show, though.
You damn right.
What channel is that, Cor?
I think it's 1021.
I think you're right.
Immediate Family tracks the rise and collaborations of a group of legendary studio musicians through the 1970s onward, chronicling their illustrious partnerships. It is a brilliant documentary if you want to watch people who are so good at their instruments you just can't believe it.
Genius.
Yes. Immediate Family.
What's it on?
I think
It's A+. plus.
I'll have to look.
You saw it, Meat Sauce Robot?
Yeah.
That was cringeworthy.
Oh,
Wow.
leave it alone.
Pat, yeah, leave it alone.
All right, I'm gonna walk you guys up to this one and hopefully not trap you, but I want you guys to think about this for a second. Let's say, and this sounds preposterous, but you never know. Let's say we were all let go from iHeart today, and we were on the job market, and we could get any job we wanted and move wherever we wanted to go. If you were ever going to move out of the state, how much would your love of the Minnesota Vikings keep you from leaving the state of Minnesota?
That's a great question.
Now, that sounds, to me, absolutely insane. However, especially now where you can see any game you want anywhere in the world, you could be Andy and love the Vikings from England. Would that matter at all? Because while you're thinking about that, 20% of NFL fans said their loyalty to their favorite team has played an extremely significant or highly significant role in their home search process. So maybe that even means moving to the state that you love, the football team, or staying somewhere in the vicinity of driving to the favorite team that you have and watching their games.
It's exactly like you said, Cor, when you brought this up. 20 years ago, it's probably I get it, because 20 years ago, you go to Wyoming, you probably don't get the Vikings game or the Packer game. But now
you can see it anywhere.
You can see it anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think it should matter at all.
They get NFL games in Amsterdam, right?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
My bootleg website still works.
Yeah,
overseas.
I used it over there. Where in Amsterdam would you go? Are you still going there for Christmas?
Yeah, that's all I wanted for Christmas.
Let's just say if he went there with Tommy, the two of them would go in different directions and meet for dinner 2 hours later.
We'd probably accidentally end up together.
Yeah, at that point.
Tommy, you're in the wrong spot.
Literally. Get out of there.
I don't know if Tom may be the one in the wrong spot.
Amen, brother. Hey, I got to get out of there.
Over the last
Colorblind, are you, Huck?
Wow.
Over the last couple of years, we've learned about plus-sized passengers having issues on airplanes, right?
Talk to me,
Well,
Goose.
how about this? Here's somebody that was a little self-aware. There was a plus-sized airline passenger. I don't know what that means. But this person bought an extra ticket because they were anxious about their weight and they were nervous that they were going to get ridiculed for whatever. So they bought 2 tickets. All right.
Yeah,
Anybody have a problem with that? Right? They're going to take both seats because they're worried about their size.
Hell, if I were rich enough, plus side or not, I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
So fantastic. Well, Delta overbooked the flight, so took one of the 2 seats from this person, and even worse, apparently, according to the story, the passenger was told they would have to contact customer service to be reimbursed. So it's like, no, we oversold the flight, so you don't get both flights or both seats, and you're going to have to figure out your reimbursement. You got to reach out to customer service.
That sucks.
Yeah,
that sucks when somebody's doing what we've all asked, right? Look, you're taking up 2 spaces. You should have to pay for 2 seats. And this person's like, I don't disagree with that. So they did the right thing and still got kind of embarrassed or pushed around or punished. That sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
Hey, Zyko?
Yes.
Are you seeing the KFAN.com/watch right now?
No.
It still says we're in a commercial break. Anyway, the show's over anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's all falling apart, Zach.
Zach.
Hey, by the way, the Immediate Family is on Hulu in case anybody wants to watch it.
All right.
It's a really good documentary. Really, really good. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow when we do the charge challenge, if the wheel spins and I go last again, I will burn this place to the ground. Just guys, be warned. Don't come to work tomorrow if I go last again.
Zach, are you rigging the wheel in the charge challenge? Is this rigged?
I can't even run the power hour properly, apparently. So
well played, Zacho.
That's a pretty good comeback. Tomorrow, charge challenge at 6:40 with 4 or 5 weeks to go. What are we down to? 5 weeks, I think, left? I think we have 5 weeks left.
That seems
I think we're
right
through
to
10.
me. Yeah, that seems right.
So 5 to go. And Chris Hardwick of The Wall.
I'm looking forward to meeting him.
Singled Out. He's going to be at Acme, I think, starting tonight, I think the next 3 nights. So you can go see him tonight, but also Hardwick on our show tomorrow, like 7:30-ish through 9 o'clock, including playing initials at 8:15. And again, he's super smart. If somebody gives him the rules or how this game works, man, that would be epic if he could find a win in game number 1. So we'll talk to Chris Hardwick tomorrow. That's going to be super cool to meet him as well. I agree. 9 to noon is next. Power Trip back in full effect tomorrow, 5:30 to 9. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Everybody has a